Hello, my name is Nathan Ellsworth, and today I'm going to be talking about the 5 most important skills that I have that I can show, and also a little bit of stories behind each skill. So, number 1, the first thing I'm going to be talking about is going to be negotiation. Negotiation is one of my favorite skills because I believe there are many skills within that one skill, such as persuasion, strategizing, planning, and even communication. In order to negotiate with somebody, you have two parties or two people. In order to become at an agreement between both of them have to be in the middle and satisfied and happy with it. And I'm very well at doing that. An example of this could be just 2 or 3 days ago, whenever I sold my girlfriend's car, I was listing the price at $3,500 and the guy wanted $2,500 for it. And I worked my way down a little bit, and I only went down like $200, and that was that. The second thing that I'll be talking about is going to be time management. I believe that this skill is very important, and every person should practice it, not just in construction, but everywhere. For example, time management can be shown in schoolwork in order to get a study, in order to do a test and have all the knowledge for that test on time, or a job like construction, like if you go on a job site, time management is very, very important, because if you say you're going to get a job done on time, you most likely need to have that job completed by then, because without that, it's going to push back all the other things that are going to have to get done after you, and you may be the cause of what's slowing down the whole process, and that's not good at all, so we don't want that to happen. Some steps that I use when I'm managing my time would be strategically thinking of my goals first, keeping a log to stay on track, planning to eliminate things that you waste time in your day, so you have more time to do the more important things to get what you need to get done. And an example of me using time management could be, let's say for example, a test. Whenever I have a test the next day, or in a week from the day that it was asked to be completed by, I time manage. Instead of throwing all the studying in the night before, I time manage and I make a track on study this day for an hour, study this day for an hour, and that way by the end, everything will have been out and I'll have the knowledge I need to succeed. The next skill that I have that I believe is very important is physical organization. So every morning before I get up and brush my teeth and eat breakfast and all that, the first thing I do as soon as I get up out of the bed is I make it. And I believe by making that bed, it can relieve stress, and it also helps you concentrate on things throughout the day that are going to help you succeed. A way that you can use this skill in construction could be office maintenance, coordinating and executing events, and good with physical organization. It also makes time managing easier, because if you have a very good organization of things and you're very, I would say OCD, because I'm a little bit OCD about it in that way, it helps you create the things that you can do or you don't have to do, because you can do it before that, if that makes sense. So whenever I'm going to be time managing to do a test, as soon as I wake up, when I make the bed and I'm being organized throughout the day, that's one of those things that it eliminates the time of doing, because I'm getting that done before anything else. So the next skill that I believe would be very important is teamwork that I have. So the 2 jobs that I had before coming into Western, the first one was working at Carrabba's Italian Grill as a busboy. I would work with other hostess by, seating customers or helping pick up dishes, helping the servers out by cleaning up dishes and working with one another. The second job I had was working in a coffee shop where we had 7 different positions. And with all those different positions, you had to work with one another in order to get the job done and make the time, time manage the whole thing. And I want to mention one more thing real quick before I move on to my next skill. I believe that all these skills come into play with one another, because without one of these skills, I believe that it throws off the other skill. Without time managing, it's going to be very hard to go back and have, or without physical organization, it's going to be hard to manage time. Without teamwork, it's going to be hard to manage that time. So it all comes back into play. The last thing that I want to talk about is going to be critical thinking. and problem solving. So this is another one of my favorite skills because while using critical thinking, you can also have good communication, which is another skill, but I believe it comes into play. They all connect with one another. An example of a time that I used critical thinking when I built my PC back in December. So when I built my PC, there was a bunch of different parts that I had to put together. It wasn't that hard. It was actually pretty simple, but the part that got hard is whenever I had to do the wiring and when I had to download drivers. I ran into issues where I had to wire up things and stuff wasn't working properly, and I had to go back, problem solve, think about what was wrong with the issue, and complete it. Also, with the drivers that weren't downloaded on my computer, I could go into the system and keep rebooting my computer and figuring out what drivers needed to be downloaded in order for my computer to shut down. So that all came into play. I believe that that can go into construction too every single day along with everything else. Thank you for your time.